Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. We are on the final leg of our trip out to Colonia with our fleet carrier. We've been doing the Deep Space Carrier series for quite a little bit now, and once we reach Colonia, we're definitely going to be hanging out there for a little bit. And we'll also have a big decision to make once we get there. Do we continue on into the deep space, taking our carrier with us and trying to reside out there in the darkness? Or do we shift gears and head back to the bubble, decommission the fleet carrier, and maybe focus on doing some other things? I'm kind of on the fence about it, if I'm perfectly honest with you. We'll talk about that as we start making our 23 or 22 jumps, I think, that we have to make to get to Colonia. We'll do some exploration along the way. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to ask you to go ahead and click that like button to help the video spread out. Subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join, end of the video, join as a member. If you stay long enough to watch the video, then I'll ask you to join as a member. With this, I haven't had to do the spiel in a little bit, so I'm trying to get back into the habit of it. The third thing I'm supposed to say during that blurb is we have over 1,700 videos, probably over 1,800 by this point, on the channel, available for you to watch. I play a bunch of different things, which apparently is not very good for the YouTube algorithm, but I can't stand being stuck on one game, so I have a bunch of games that you can go watch. So if you like the way I do stuff, head over there, check out the games. Plenty of different kinds of things for you to watch over there. One of the things I made a big deal out of when the latest release came out, the new feature was announced, the colonization feature, was that it doesn't really apply to me. I have no interest in doing any kind of colonization. I don't have any interest in base building or anything that basically tethers me down to one specific location. I have no interest in putting down roots anywhere. Jameson Memorial for a long time was my home, and ideally I don't really want that to be the case again, but at the same time it's kind of one of those things where if you're not going to have a fleet carrier, you have to have somewhere to go, and Jameson Memorial is the standard home base for a lot of commanders because of the discounts you get there. So it's definitely worth utilizing that as your jumping off point to go to different places. We're going to go ahead and go scan this water world because why not? It's actually not that far away. I got to focus for a second. Now, I'm going to wait till 3 seconds. 3 seconds, 6, okay, so maybe 3 seconds works. Yeah, I think that does work because I haven't done the Super Cruise Assist yet, which will push us down to 7 seconds. All right, cool. So Jameson Memorial is an excellent home base once you get access to it because of the very good discounts you get on buying every module there. While the Deep Space Carrier idea is cool in theory, the reality is that unless they do a serious overhaul on the exploration for this game, provide us with a lot more to find and do and see, a lot more in the way of visually stunning things to go see, the vast majority of our time out here is just going to be doing this kind of stuff, where all we're doing is just kind of finding things. Finding things that just, paying out credits. And that, as an explorer, that's not really what I'm interested in. I want to find cool things to look at, and it's just, I don't know. Let's get the map up so we can find the other water world. I think it's this one. Yes. And it's behind us. Get ourselves turned around.
Surface scan complete.
So I'm going to aim for 3 seconds and see if that continues to be something that actually works. Well, kind of hard when you're really close, and then I think we do need to follow the speed rule sub 1,000 light seconds. I think that's probably a thing we need to do. Let's get the Super Cruise Assist turned on. Oh. Okay. So anyways, I keep getting interrupted because I'm trying to get some scanning done. So, I'm kind of leaning towards just, we'll decommission the fleet carrier, ideally mothballing it for a while, And then in the future, at some point, if they finally decide to actually do something exploration related, maybe we'll revisit the carrier idea. There isn't enough to do, you know? There's not enough to do. Let's get the next system and route set up. And until there is, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time leaning towards wanting to commit myself to heading out to the black in a fleet carrier. And so I'm also thinking that I was running a bounty hunter series for a little bit while we were back in the bubble, and it seems to me that the Mandalay might actually be an excellent bounty hunter vessel. It's big enough that you could feasibly live on it from an RP's perspective. It's big enough that you could feasibly live on it. It's highly maneuverable. You can outfit it. I've seen a bunch of commanders who go out there and are making combat builds out of it. And with the inherent jump range of this ship, I think it would be an excellent bounty hunter platform. Just to go out and do all different kinds of mission. Go on foot, go land. You can land in all kinds of cool places. You can, ideally, assuming you're not trying to go after anything that's too big, you can go after targets out in space and shoot them down. I imagine it would be pretty decent for infiltration with as fast and as maneuverable as it is. All different kinds of things. So I'm kind of leaning towards just going to head back to the bubble, decommission the fleet carrier, sell all the ships I'm not going to hold on to, transfer everything else back to Jameson Memorial, and then, you know, start focusing on doing some missions and stuff. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now. Just because, you know, the variety just isn't where I would like it to be as far as trying to do this. You know, on our way out there, how many jumps we have left? 19. On our way out there, we're going to limit ourselves to around 20 bodies. Just because, you know, we need to make some decent progress. So we're definitely going to hang out, and we spent all this time coming out to Colonia. We're definitely going to hang out here for a little bit, regardless of the decision that we end up making. If we end up going out into deep space, if that's the decision I end up making, then that's fine. But either way, we're going to be spending a little bit, you know, a week or more, just kind of hanging out in Colonia, taking a break before making a decision. That's kind of what I want to do. If we do go back, we're still going to be spending most of our time in the Mandalay, because this will become my platform for doing things as a bounty hunter rather than the exploration that we've been doing. I think after a year plus of exploration, especially out in deep space where there just isn't really much in the way of civilization, there's only so much for you to find out here, and you know, they don't really seem keen on trying to enhance that at all. So it's just, there's a limit to from a content creation standpoint, there's a limit to, you know, how interesting you can make things doing the same thing over and over and over again. And, you know, the reality on the other side of that is that there's really not that much to do as far as everything else either. I mean, you can only kill things so many times before that becomes boring too, unless you're just super into the whole combat thing. For me, Battle Vortex was saying that I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said I got to be careful because I was saying mindless combat, and you know, sorry, to me, unless you're doing PvP, the combat in this game is just incredibly mindless. The enemies aren't difficult to fight. They don't really do anything unexpected. They swing around and continue to try to turn to you and put their weapons on you. They don't do any kind of crazy maneuvers or anything like that. You know, maybe I've never fought Thargoids, so obviously that's a different thing. But as far as just the NPCs, even the elite fighters, even the elite AI fighters, just aren't really a challenge unless you're just unless you're in a ship that's just punching way above your weight class, and then it becomes a challenge because they have a much easier time getting you. But you know, I've never found combat to be that stimulating, because it's just the opponents aren't challenging. But then I also don't have any desire to do PvP because I know my own limits. Because there's a massive there's a massive gap between you know, where the AI is versus, you know, time-tested PvP players who are really good at flying. And that's the thing, like, I would never, I'm not good enough to be in the PvP community, but I'm too good to be satisfied with fighting AI pilots. I'm good, like, especially when I'm doing it on a regular basis and I've got my controls and everything down and I've got myself dialed into aiming and all of that stuff. There are no AI pilots that give me any problems unless I'm fighting a ship that's just unless I'm fighting a ship that I just should not be fighting in whatever vessel I'm in. Like this thing trying to fight an anaconda or something like that, depending on what my loadout is, probably not a smart thing to do. But for the most part, anything else, I don't imagine it would be that big of a deal. But you know, even a relatively badly equipped PvP pilot who knows what they're doing is going to wipe the floor with me because my skill level just it's not that high. It's not anywhere close to that high. So there's a massive gulf between the difficulty of fighting AI pilots who more or less just do the same thing. Like they all fight the same way. There's no surprises or anything. You know how to fight them, and you just go in there and smash them until they die. Versus, you know, the PvP crowd who know how to fight, who are going to do crazy things, who know how to fight in a way that's better. And I'm not interested enough in fighting to spend the number of hours it would require to get my skill level up to that point. I'm not interested in fighting enough to do that. So, you know, it actually kind of parallels my real life experience. Having served as a Marine for 11 years, I have a certain amount of skill that I still retain even after all these years, from learning to fight in the Marine Corps. The vast majority of average people probably wouldn't stand a chance against me if I decided if I got into a fight with them, because I've been professionally trained in how to fight. Not like boxing or anything, but you know, they were doing the mixed martial arts and stuff back in the day. I'm nowhere close to being in shape anymore, but even still, compared to the average person who hasn't had any training, you know, I have a very high likelihood of dominating a fight like that. But if I were to go against somebody who is, you know, A, much younger than me, B, has had a lot more recent training than me, and C, has a lot better training than I ever received, then I'm going to get my butt handed to me. So it's kind of the same thing here. Like, this is why I said mindless combat, because when you're fighting the AI guys, there's no thought process involved. You're turning around your enemy and just trying to keep your nose pointed at them long enough until they die. Or you're doing the pass and turn around and pass and turn around and pass and turn. Like there's no variety to that, and I don't really have a lot of interest in it. So as far as like, I want to, if I'm going to do the bounty hunter thing, I want to do a bunch of different stuff. Maybe one day we'll fight a ship. Maybe another day we'll go and do a ground mission. Maybe we'll do some infiltration stuff. Maybe we'll do, you know, I want to spice things up by doing different stuff, which is, you know, it goes along the lines of me talking about how I don't have a lot of interest in playing one game either. Like, there's a reason why I have so many different games on my channel, and it's because I don't have the patience to just focus on one thing over and 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 over. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get OCD enough about anything to focus on it that long, which is, you know, probably a reason why I'm not as successful as I could be. Because, like, I'm not the kind of person who brags on myself, but I know I'm competent enough that I could do anything I wanted to do. You know, I have the ability to do a lot of stuff, but I don't have the focus and the drive to do it because I'm easily bored. And right around the time where, you know, right around the time where you might actually start accruing some serious experience and maybe some maybe some credibility, that's about the time where I really start getting bored with something and I'm ready to move on to something else, because I can't, it's boring. It's boring to just keep doing the same thing over and over again, which is, you know, they call it the daily grind, right? That's why a lot of people hate their job, because they go in, they do the same thing every day, and it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's boring. I want to do something else. But we live in a world where sticking with something is what gets rewarded, and those of us who have a hard time doing that either have to suck it up and live a life that's unsatisfying because you're having to do this thing over and over again, or you never make it because you keep starting over on something else, and that's just kind of the way it goes. And that's super frustrating. Super, super frustrating. So anyways, all of that to say that I'm personally leaning towards decommissioning the fleet carrier, transferring all of my ships back, and then ship some modules and all that stuff back to Jameson Memorial, and then we'll just go do bounty hunting around the bubble. I don't think I intend on focusing too much on the power play stuff unless there is a tangible benefit to me personally. I don't particularly have any interest in the whole power play thing as a concept, and I haven't heard anything so far that makes me particularly interested in wanting to help. Because as I recently said to my friend over at Battle Vortex in response to one of his videos, it is my personal thought that I think that, was it 56 bodies? We're moving on. I personally think, and I've heard it said by several other content creators, I think most of us are solo players. I think most people, especially even in this game, I think most of us are solo players. Even if you play in open, I think that the vast majority of people who play these games are playing by themselves, and they only occasionally maybe do something with other people. I think it's only the hardcore people who care enough to actually spend the time trying to find people they want to play with, and then, you know, they spend time in the game actually doing that. So if this new colonization thing that's coming out ends up being something where you have to have a group, I don't know that that's going to be something that people give a crap about. Because I know that if I have to get a group to do anything related to the colonization stuff, because it just requires so many things that you can't do it by yourself in any kind of reasonable amount of time, then there's no reason. I think there's going to be a lot of people who fall into the category of we're just not messing with this. It takes too much time, and I'm not interested in trying to join a group for that. I like to play by myself. I don't like being beholden to other people. It's kind of the way it is. But I've always been that way. The entire time I played World of Warcraft, I was never in a guild. I was never in a group. I never did any of that stuff. The only time I ever really started doing any of the raid related materials was when they did the automatic group finder, and then I didn't have to actually know anybody anymore to play. I could just, you know, select whatever thing I wanted to do, join a group, and try to do it. So, you know, they say massively multiplayer online game, and it's like, yeah, but that's not really how most people. I say most. I really don't know. My assumption is that I don't think that's really how most people play those games, and I think anecdotal experience from a lot of other content creators probably gives us enough to say that that's probably true. You know, just people play video games to have a few hours of escape for their day. Most people do. And dealing with the drama and politics of other people when you're just trying to hang out and play a game, I think there's a lot of us who aren't interested in that. I get enough drama in my life already. I don't need to have other people contributing to it, you know? Like, I have better things to do with my time than to have to work my personal life around yet another obligation from other people who want something from me. So it's just one of those things. I think there's more people than not who play games like this. They play them by themselves. It is what it is. We'll try to get a few more jumps in before we call it a day. I'm just going to go ahead and leave. How many jumps do we have left to go? 11 jumps? Okay. It's nice to be able to do 70 plus light years, but once we get back to the bubble and we actually put some weapons on here, I don't think we're going to be, well, we're going to have to completely I say once we get back to the bubble, that's assuming we go back. Again, I'm leaning towards it, but If we end up going back to the bubble, we're going to have to completely swap around our internals and slap some weapons and stuff, and probably change. We're going to have to change up several things because we're going to need we're going to need to be survivable in combat. So I've seen a couple of decent I've seen a couple of decent combat builds with the Mandalay. Couldn't get that out of my mouth. That still had, 43, 45 light year jump ranges, which isn't bad. It's not bad at all for something that's fully equipped to do battle. That's fine. I think our courier has like a 43 to 45, so we'll be similar to our courier, but we'll be a medium ship with more weapons and more capability to be able to do different kinds of things. So that'll be nice. All right. So I think we'll go ahead. And I don't know. Should we just go ahead and just blast to Colonia? So we only got 10 jumps left. Yeah, we only got 10 jumps left. I think we'll just go ahead and blast to Colonia now, and then we'll spend the rest of the week. Figuring out what we're gonna do. Maybe we'll play around with some combat builds and do some missions out here while we kind of rest up and wait and make our final decision on what we're gonna do. Part of the reason for us hanging out is to take a break and take a rest and break up the monotony. But the other part of it is I'm kind of interested to see what you guys as a community are which way you're leaning for the future of this series. I don't necessarily like to make unilateral decisions unless I just really feel strongly about something. I care about what you guys think because you guys sit and watch through all of this stuff. So your opinion matters. Take some time, let it simmer for a little bit. I said when they released the details for the new feature that I wasn't even sure if I was going to continue doing this game. I don't know. This is the only space game I really want to play, and I still want to play a space game. So the likelihood is that I will probably continue to play, but definitely may need to change some things up. Probably going to need to change some things up. But for today, we'll just go ahead and get to Colonia. We will find our fleet carrier, or maybe we'll just go to Jaques Station. I don't even know where our fleet carrier is in Colonia. It is in Colonia. It did actually go to Colonia, so there was room. There was room there for it to go. But it'll be interesting to see where it actually ended up. I'm guessing it's next to the star. So I should probably actually check that out. How many more jumps do we have left to go? 7. Let's just get there. We'll go ahead, blast our way there, see where the fleet carrier is, and if I need to relocate it, then we'll relocate it. But it's probably just hanging out there around the sun. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you guys interested in heading out to deep space with the carrier? Have we seen enough of that already? Or because realistically, it's just gonna be the same thing. There's not gonna be anything new once we get past Colonia. Maybe every once in a while something interesting will cross our path, but most of the time it's just going to be jump and scan, jump and scan, jump and scan, do some mining. I think it's going to be. I think I'm bored with it. I imagine a lot of you are probably bored with it, and moving on to doing some variety might be the order of the day. We'll see. I know that Battle Vortex is going to advise me to head back to the bubble. I already know that's what you're going to say. That's fine. It's a reasonable suggestion. Almost there. After several months. We've been at this for months already. It's kind of crazy to think about that. Alright. 32 bodies on this one. 4 jumps to go. We are almost there.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay. Seems like for the regular size stars, popping the frameshift drive while you're fuel scooping isn't a problem. But for the bigger ones, especially the bigger white colored ones, that ends up being a problem.
Fuel
3, 2, 1.
frameshift drive charging.
Almost there.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Anyways, I like the idea of the Mandalay being a bounty hunter ship because it's kind of like the Anaconda of medium-sized ships. Sort of. I mean, I guess the Python's technically supposed to be the Anaconda of medium-sized ships, but I think the Mandalay probably gives the Python a run for its money. As far as versatility, well, no, not really. As far as from a cargo capacity perspective, this ship sucks. I was thinking it would be cool to use it for mining as well instead of my Type 8, but it doesn't have the internals for that. So it's definitely not an all-rounder kind of ship. You're not going to use it. You're probably not going to use it for mining, just because to get any kind of decent cargo space, you have to give up your upper slots to do that. And if you're giving up your upper slots to do that, that means you're almost going to have no limpet slots available. And it's just, and even then, you're not going to be able to use the multi-limpet controller, which gives you 8 because it's a 7A slot. It's a size 7 slot. And then, yeah, so like this star right here, probably not a good idea to try to fuel scoop and do from that because it's just it's too big.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, we're heading to Colonia. We're already there. Very nice. But as far as like combat and exploration and just the running around the bubble, especially because you're going to have to give up a lot of the things that give you a crazy amount of range, we'll definitely hold on to the Guardian booster, but obviously we're going to have to pump up the shields quite a bit, and the fuel scoop that we have on it isn't going to be able to be nearly as nice as what we have on here, but yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go to Jaques Station, I think.
Disengage.
Now, let's just get rid of all this. Slow down, and let's see here. Seriously? I should have Jaques Station. Let's see. Let's just do stations then. Stations. Here we go. Nah, let's get our fleet carrier. Where is it? Nah, Jaques Station. Screw it. I'm indecisive. I'm indecisive. Sorry. All right, let's just go to Jaques Station. Screw it. Could I not? Because we haven't been on a station in a while, so why not? Maybe I'm going to see if I can move my fleet carrier over here. All right. There's always a planet with a gravity well in the way. But, I mean, I guess that's okay. It's going to keep us moving relatively slow, which will make it easier to not... I was trying to not do that. That is specifically what I was trying to not do. At least the loop of shame on this ship isn't nearly as penalizing as other ones. Because you. Okay, seriously, can I get? Thank you. Wow, that was annoying. All right.
Docking request granted. Landing gear deployed.
All right, here we are at Jaques Station. Cool.
Engines disengaged.
So let's go check out, or I guess I can't do carrier management from here, huh? Yeah. Let's head over here and see if we can even move it. So, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know how you do that. How do I? Am I able to get into the system map for this? How do you set and how do you move it within a system? I know that's possible. I know that's possible to do, but I don't know. Okay. Can I do that from the system map? I guess I'm gonna have to go look that up because I'm not sure how you do that. Because like, how did these guys get their? Huh. Is it a bookmark? I'm not sure how you do this. Okay, so maybe I need to set it as a bookmark, or I guess I have to put it around the planet here, huh? Jaques Station planet. Okay. Oh, come on. Then we head over to carrier management. And then we do that. Then we open the galaxy map. And then we head over to the bookmarks. And then we do bodies. I'm not sure if, oh, no free slots there. Whatever. All right, that's fine. We'll just leave it there. Anyways, let's take a second and just go ahead and sell off our universal cartographics. I don't remember if we actually found anything. I don't think, like, we just went straight here. I'm pretty sure I sold off everything from my exobiology there. That's fine. We're just going to go ahead and end it here. We'll spend a little bit of time here in Colonia trying to figure out what we're going to do for the future. But for now, we got some decisions to make. So thanks for watching. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member if you like early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.